Hi.
Casey?
Welcome back to Casually KANE9. We are casual. I'm Casey.
I'm Kate, and I literally told him to not start it like that. You sounded like Buddy the Elf.
Oh, we're casual today.
If that's what you call it.
Let's go build gingerbread houses.
If you guys... I hope you find your dad, buddy. But if you guys are watching on video right now... Oh, no. The AC just kicked on. Is that going to totally...
Nope, we're fine.
Oh, okay. We're fine. I literally sent Casey an SOS text not long ago of please bring me Advil down to the kennel room. I have a raging headache. So you have headache. You have headache Kate with you right now, but I'm okay. I don't know. I just have like this tinge in my forehead. That could be my peeve.
Just a tinge.
It just feels like someone's
What's a tinge in your head, man?
Trying to get out of my head.
I feel like this is a horror film plot or something.
I have been listening to a lot of weird podcasts of like the murder mystery, but a couple of them have been very much haunted type ones, not just like serial killers.
I can only handle so much of that.
I know. You're scared.
And then I need to listen to some funny stuff to make me feel better and not
Literally,
so scared.
When we say we are putting on, we don't have Netflix right now. We've kind of boycotted Netflix for a little bit. But say we're going on to like Hulu or something. Soon. Yeah, but say we're going on to Hulu to pick something out, like a movie. You know, usually like Friday nights is like our wow, let's get wild, let's watch a movie. And these are the two genres, you guys, that I get to choose from because it's like these are the two that he tells me either. Will Ferrell comedy, like that kind of style. That kind of style. Yes, literally your entire family and my family would agree with me. But like that
here's the
kind
thing,
of
in
quirky,
my family, if they're listening, if you say something or do something one time in your life, it's on your resume your whole life.
Yeah, well, you do have a track record of that kind of comedy. I'm not just saying Will Ferrell movies. I'm just saying that kind of comedy, like Vince Vaughn, which I love too. Like, don't get me wrong, like they're great. But it's either that kind of movie or some sort of like war movie.
No, I think you're
what is it? Bank robber movies. Heist.
I think you're missing some like Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay. I said that genre of comedy. But those are the two. Guy? Those are the two types. I either get to choose a bank robber heist movie. Is that what it's called? A heist?
Heist, yeah.
Yeah, or a weird type of what's the word I'm looking for? Sense of humor comedy.
I think I'm just depressed a little bit with that because I've heard from not just me,
depressed?
but like these are my thoughts that like nowadays they don't make a whole lot of really good comedy movies.
Why is that? Why'd you just say I think I'm depressed?
Like, no, I didn't say I'm depressed. I said, did I say that?
Yes, you literally said. I think it's because I'm depressed.
I'm a little bit depressed about the movie choices when it comes to comedy. There's not a whole lot of comedy films out there. I've heard it many different places.
Oh.
Yeah. So I resort back to the ones that were really funny. Like, I mean, it's so stupid, but I love the movie Pineapple Express. I think it's hilarious.
I've never even seen it in full.
Or like, guys, take me back to the days of like Hot Rod. Like that.
Hot Rod. Dollars.
Hot Rod. I mean, what a great film. It's so stupid.
You guys, we've gotten some feedback, and I want you to either DM me or email Casey of if you really notice...
Casey at K9dogtraining.com.
If you really notice his Wisconsin accent of... I listen to our podcast, like especially if I'm in the car, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he sounds so Wisconsin. So if anyone's like listening that's not from the Midwest, say you're down south or something like that, you probably hear Casey's accent. And honestly, mine probably too. I just don't have as strong as a Wisconsin accent. But even you sitting next to me, I'm sitting here like, wow, you sound like a purebred Wisconsinite. All you need is some cheese and beer.
You know what? You say that like there's something wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with it. They build them nice around here.
I have very good spelling. I have pretty decent grammar.
Honey, this has nothing to do with your education.
But I think that
you just said I have pretty good spelling. This is your accent, not your...
Yeah, no, I think that all kind of is intertwined together, though.
Okay.
Like I don't like text people. I'm not like R, like the letter R, like U, like there
No,
or something
no.
like use the wrong there. Like I use all correct
This has
grammar.
nothing to do with your smarts.
No, I'm not saying that. It's all connected. When you say like you are so Wisconsinite or whatever, like I take that as like, oh, he's like a Wisconsin hillbilly.
No. Oh my gosh, not at all, because it's just like saying someone sounds like they're from down south. That doesn't make them a redneck or anything like that. Like
redneck.
Nothing. We're going down a rabbit hole now. But
let's get back to the movie thing because those are the choices that I pick. I hate horror films. I don't hate them. I really don't.
Hates them.
I don't like them. They make me sad. I would rather cover my eyes and leave the room and go watch a funny movie than watch that. Why would I put myself through that? I have nightmares then.
I never want to watch horror. I love suspense movies.
I know some people like love that stuff, and to each his own, guys. If you love that, good for you. I will not be hanging out with you if you're watching that.
you guys will not be watching movies together. No.
We could do something else, like maybe, hike or something, or watch a funny movie.
Yeah, see, whatever he wants to do, as long as you guys are ready to hang out with him and do what he wants to do, you can be his friend.
You can come too.
Oh, thanks. Yay.
We just had some sad news shared with us.
Oh my gosh. Shared with me.
That you shared with me then, that kind of took us back a little bit. Do you want to share?
I guess we're sharing that.
Yeah, let's share. We don't need to say who it is.
No,
or anything like that,
I was going to give another kitchen update, but
we'll get to that in a second. It's on the list.
Yeah. So, obviously I get emails all the time, and when I see like owners that I've worked with, their names pop up, I'm usually assuming it's gonna be something like boarding requests, or I see a lot if I'm doing like a refresh with one of my board and train dogs. We do like these little 5-day refreshes. A lot of times when I post about that, I'll have some of my other owners reach out to me and say, hey Kate, like just wanted to know when you're doing another refresh. So that's kind of what I thought when I saw this person's name pop up, because that's the kind of owners they are. They have done a couple of refreshes, whatever. I'm reading it, and it's a dog there's 2 dogs in the household, and they're both young dogs, and it was...
How old would you say?
I mean, it's hard to say now, because honestly, I trained them at our old house, but they were puppies when I... Not quite. There's no way, because they were puppies when I trained them, and one of them just... unexpectedly, tragically passed away, and I know no more details besides that, but it's one of my favorite dogs I've worked with. Is in my puppy ebook. It has been in so much of like our graphic materials.
He's a dog that made you fall in love with the breed too.
Yes, and I just was like taken back when reading it. So I hope that, I feel so bad for them. I don't think that they listen to the podcast, but just, obviously thinking about the owners, because I know they're a retired couple and their dogs are their life. They do everything with their dogs. So I know that they're probably having such a hard time, but it's interesting because as I obviously, dogs come and go, and we've been training now for quite a few years, and like some of the dogs are getting up there in age. Obviously this was more of a tragic thing, but I hope you know that when you've worked with us and your dog has been here, if we get that news from you, like it's like we feel like we're almost losing a family member, because we have so many amazing memories. Even if it's a dog that's like challenging and made me have moments of being like, I feel like I could pull my hair out, like I still have so much love for the relationship, the individual relationship that I have with those dogs. So obviously it takes nothing away, like the owner, I feel so terrible for the actual family, but it's a different feeling when you've had those dogs in your care and stuff, and hearing that they've passed. And I think
we remember every single dog that we've trained.
Yeah, I especially do.
And I do. No, I remembered who they were and everything. I just didn't know which one was which dog. But we do remember every single dog, even going back to when we started KANE9 at the old place. So
in Maine.
I think we talked about that not too long ago, about how like the dogs that we trained, especially if they're younger, we're going to start eventually, just life happens. We're going to start getting those little
terrible news.
Yeah, those little tidbits of news that, potentially loved companion has moved on, which is I can't even imagine the day when that happens to us. But
yeah,
terribly sad.
That's like that always. It's just like anything. It puts things into perspective of like, okay, do I really need to be like so hyper focused on the tiny little things that like it really doesn't matter? Like, I don't even know if I can use an example of, I'll think of certain things where it's like, oh, it'd be great if I could take Rhodey to do XYZ, like for myself. I'll think about that. And then I'm like, wait a second, like he doesn't need that. I don't need that from him. Like, that's not what I'm going to remember, when his time comes. It's going to be all of the amazing memories we have made together versus like where I could take him and successfully do it. So if you're ever putting your pressure on yourself of like, I should be able to walk my dog in a perfect heel through Home Depot, but your dog's like not social and doesn't love that kind of environment, go make memories doing stuff that you both love. That can still be going out of your comfort zone. So gosh, I loved that dog and I feel so bad for them. But
yeah, sad news. We literally just got it before we jumped on to record today. So it's kind of still fresh in our minds just thinking about it. But we do want to give you guys also a kitchen update, and we are so thrilled. Our painting crew is actually here today as we speak. They're up there
still
working.
Up there.
And they're also doing and working on the backsplash in our kitchen, which just seeing the progress, they're not done yet with it, but just seeing like how it is taking shape and taking form in our kitchen. What a huge thing that, it just livens up the whole space. It makes it look complete, even though it's not even done yet. Like they have to do all the grout and all the finishing stuff. They're still laying tile.
And yay, we hired it out.
Yeah, we hired it out to somebody who we really like to do work with. So it's even better when you have somebody who is a contractor, somebody who you enjoy having in your space and doing work. They do good work. So
it's like
even
you
better.
want to feel good about where you put your money, and like I literally feel good with having. They do such an amazing job, but they also are just genuinely kind people, because they did we got our whole basement and our bedroom painted not too long ago, and it's our first time ever working with them, and it was a great recommendation from a friend. And literally I'm just like, I hope that they have availability, because I want to pay them, because they're so nice. Like it's just one of those things.
Gives fair prices, and he's responsive, and he literally fit us in a week after he was here seeing it.
We got lucky because it was a rain day. They were doing an outdoor project, and they let Casey know, like, it'll be a rain day. We could start Monday. And we're like, yes, please. Check.
But it was going to be 2 weeks from when he saw it. So we got in about a week earlier. But everybody else who we had talked to about doing the project was a lot further out, which is, good for them if that's where they're at. But these guys were able to jump on it, and we're thrilled. Yeah.
So that's where the kitchen's at. We will no longer have kitchen updates probably after the next podcast, but you guys have asked and you guys are interested in it, so we'll keep that nice and short and sweet. But I just wanted to also talk briefly about our pack walk this past Sunday. We're actually recording a little bit late. Casey gets to do a little
I gotta jump on this tonight.
Stuff.
It is Monday evening already, almost.
At 5:30 p.m. we are recording. It's been we've just had a little bit of changes in our schedule this week, and some days it requires us to get creative with the hours in the day, if you will. So we're recording this Monday night. You're going to hear this first thing on
Tuesday morning.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, those of you that are listening that go to the pack walk, is 19 dogs were there. Okay, I've worked with a lot more than 19 dogs, but I can't tell you, like, that 19 dogs feels like a lot of dogs, doesn't it? It was a big crew. We had a lot of dogs there, and a lot of our big dogs, so it just felt like a lot of dog. But I just have to, like, kudos to you guys, because I have to say I'm very proud looking at it, of like the impact I've obviously had, and my part in your dog's journey with you. But showing up with your dog around 18 other dogs, especially if they've ever had any like over arousal, reactivity, nervousness of new people, it makes me so proud of you, because I know that's scary. I've again been that owner that's shown up to a pack walk with my highly reactive dog, and it not always been perfect, but like feeling that community is huge. So
yeah,
I'm just really, really proud of all of those owners that do show up. And if you're ever an owner listening too that like has worked with us and you don't come because you are worried about how your dog's going to do, I know a couple owners that are at home kicking butt, but they're nervous to bring their reactive dog in that kind of environment. I'm telling you, it is the least judgmental zone ever. Like, we are there for you. I make sure everyone's advocated for. You know, I tell everyone, give ample space. Like, but anyways, I just have to say I'm so proud of everyone that comes to them, and I appreciate people that show up to them, because we obviously offer them to our graduates for free, and there's always on a weekend, usually on a Sunday in the afternoon. So we happily take our personal time to do that. So when you guys do show up, it's really I'm really thankful that you do, because I want you to have that experience around other dogs, but also it brings me a lot of value too, to see where you guys are at, for me to be able to help you if you're asking for help, like knowing that you're showing up for pack walks and, you know, you're out there doing the work. It just makes me very proud. So kudos to you guys, because it's really freaking cool seeing like 19 dogs walking, 2 of them being, you know, currently in training, you know, working through tough stuff, but also majority of the time, everyone doing really freaking cool or really freaking good is just awesome.
Even if you do have a tough pack walk, let's say you come to a first one or something
people
like that,
have.
and you just don't know the pace, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what to expect, your anxiety is a little bit heightened, your dog senses that. We take time at the end to stick around for questions, and we'll certainly stick around for you. And
even in the beginning, I don't take a dog like Casey does, so that if you guys do need help, I help get you situated.
Most of the time, though, you take that feedback or the questions that you've asked us, and you come back to the next one and the one after that, and they get better and better and better. And we've seen that with a lot of different dogs. We've seen people who started showing up to them. Maybe they were having a little bit of difficulties at first, and then they get more comfortable. They get confident. The owner does, and the dog, and pretty soon they're rocking. We've had people who they're almost at every single pack walk, and they're just rocking it. They're just doing it. They're having fun, and we're very happy to see those people.
Yeah. Should we jump into our topic?
Yeah, I forgot it already.
I remember it.
All right,
so,
go ahead.
What I want to talk...
It wasn't my topic this week. That's why I don't
honestly
remember.
Because it's like I get this sort of question asked pretty often, mostly in virtual coaching sessions, and what stemmed the question was one that I had this morning. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. I had that. It
has been a hell of a... It's been a long 2 days.
I was going to say yesterday, but I'm like, nope, that was today. Yep, today. So I had a virtual coaching session with two owners, and they have a dog that is not always wonderful with new people, does really well, like with being advocated for, you know, they have a system in place. They're owners that are literally doing everything. They just needed a little additional guidance. And honestly, I feel like they needed more of just hearing like what you're doing is right. And I obviously had a few suggestions of things to do, but I get this quite often. And it was almost kind of like, how do I tell friends or family, like, how can I get support from friends or family with my dog who has its limitations? And the way I want to swing this is not how can you tell them, is I want this to be more of a, hey, friends and family of someone that has a dog, with limitations, here's how you can support them. So instead of you feeling like you need to like sit down and lay out how they can support you, I want you to send them this podcast. Tell them to fast forward to
skip ahead a little bit. You skip the beginning.
Yeah, skip ahead about 20-ish minutes and tell them to listen to this podcast. So hopefully it will help them have a little bit of perspective and room for understanding kind of where you're at. So what I want to tell the family members and friends of a loved one that has a dog with quirks, limitations, whatever that may be, really, first off, listen and hear that friend or family member, the owner of the dog, tell you what they need from you. Let them explain what is going to set them and their dog up for success. Respect that and follow that as long as it's obviously fair to you. So for instance, if your family member or something is asking you to let their aggressive dog like jump on you, I would be like, hey, we're going to have some issues with that. But if they're asking you like, hey,
probably don't show up to that.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, hey, I'm going to like exit stage left. But, if they're saying, hey, it's really helpful if when you come in, I'm going to have my dog, totally on its own space, not up in your space at all, but can you please ignore them? That's all you need to do is ignore them. Let the owner feel that level of like respect from you, and they're going to take a deep breath. The dog's going to take a deep breath, and everyone's going to be good. Yeah. The other thing is ask that owner if you can ask questions like, hey, I want to, or just like show them that there's some interest there of like, hey, I want to understand your dog a little bit more. Like, are you comfortable if I ask questions about, their behaviors, if you want to understand more? You don't have to also, like, that's also okay too. If you'd rather just be like, hey, tell me what you want me to do, that is fine. But versus just being like, well, why? Or, well, why is your dog this way? Maybe ask a question like, so I'm hearing that your dog has a hard time being around new people. Are there some things that I could do that would help them in this process? I'm telling you, if a friend or family member asked me that when I was struggling, I probably would have cried. Yeah. Because it was always, and not with like every friend or family member, but I always felt like I had to like justify why.
You have to explain yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
we know there are people out there listening right now that know 100% what we're talking about.
Yeah. And if you are the person listening with the dog, like, also it's okay to just put your dog in a crate. Yeah. Like, you don't need to like always have them out. But if people
wouldn't it be nice to not have that pressure? Like, have that pressure of that person just like taken away from the room?
Yeah, just like you don't ever want the people that are like grilling you or like, oh, okay, well, like that's no life for a dog or something like that. Those are the people that just really make it challenging. So third, I would really ask that you give that owner a compliment in any way that you feel like that is going to best suit them. Even if that's, hey, I see that you're working really hard with your dog, kudos to you. Good for you. That's awesome. I can tell you're putting in a lot of work. That compliment goes a really long way. So truly,
again, that person will probably cry.
Yeah. So I really do think that like, if you are someone that, one of the people that you love most in life has a dog that is maybe not like a dog you've ever experienced, or is quote unquote, has its limitations, or some people might think isn't normal, which is not the case, but like there has been that, kind of thought around it. You're not your happy-go-lucky dog, all of that kind of stuff. First off, listen to the owner and hear them when they give you direction. 2, have open lines of communication. Like, ask them if it's okay if you have conversations about their dog. They might just honestly not want to, and just like respect that as well. Like if it's sometimes it's honestly hard for the owners to explain like what's all going on without giving you literally the entire breakdown, because sometimes it is just genetics. Sometimes it is exposure, and not everyone's going to understand that when you're like, well, genetically my dog, or during their fear period of 8 months, it's just like a lot to explain. But ask if you can ask clarifying questions if you want to. And then 3, give them a compliment. Even if their dog is having a rough time, like tell them, hey, I really commend you for being so committed to you and your dog's journey. Like that's huge. So really it's those 3 simple things that you can really change how an owner feels about you coming over, this friend or this family member. Like they're going to feel so supported if you do those 3 things, because I also personally don't like to ask my guests to do a ton, because it's not their dog so that's where the owners need to really take that ownership of, it's not my dog, to really make sure that everyone is safe. So just do those 3 things. And if there's more on top of that the owner's asking you to do, you can also very respectfully let them know, like, hey, I would appreciate, just because, it makes me nervous, if you wouldn't mind having your dog put away when I come over. That's okay too. And if anyone were to ever ask me that, honestly, I'm just proactive about it. If they came at us very respectfully about it, I would be like, yeah, I totally respect that, and that is totally fine with me. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Cool. Let's take a quick break.
And we're back.
Hey guys. Okay. So again, a little bit of a recap. I know I already recapped it, but those 3 things I really do feel like are very supportive.
Super helpful.
Of that dog owner. Okay.
Yep.
So listen to them, ask questions, and basically ask if they want to engage in that conversation. That is one of the most powerful things I think in any relationship, is asking if someone is ready to engage in a certain conversation with you. You don't have to be like, hey, I'd like to talk about this. Like, are you ready to engage? But instead of just like
a robot
throwing a really loaded question at someone and expecting them to be in the mindset to have that conversation, it really is so respectful to be like, hey, I would love to understand things in a little bit more detail. Is that something you'd be comfortable talking to me about? Oh my gosh. Like, can you imagine if we communicate like that all of the time in our relationships? We've tried to be better at that as like,
yeah, I would
husband
say
and
that,
wife, but like,
I would say our communication has gotten better because
yeah.
of little things like that.
Honestly, also because of how we have to communicate with like owners. Like we've realized the clarity, and honestly because of Rhodey, we've had to advocate for him for so many years, and like also have conversations with each other that it's like you've had to. Not
only that, but also like with you and I, not to like just talk about us, but like with you and I having a relationship and then also running a business at the same time.
We literally had to, if it's like after quote unquote work hours, which we own our own business, so it's always like something, but we've had to be like, I would like to talk about something.
Yeah, do you want to talk about this right now?
Is that something? I like answering no. Because literally, guys,
not all the time.
I don't always answer no, but when Casey's asking me at like 8:45 at night, I'm like, I'm going to bed in literally 15 minutes. Like, no, I don't want to talk about this right now. But that's where his brain starts going, is when he sits on the couch. Okay, now we're getting derailed, but yes. And then number 3, what was number 3?
Give them a compliment.
Oh yeah, compliment them. Again, it doesn't have to be like, wow, your dog's doing so well. Meanwhile, Cujo's in the back room, like barking his head off. No, but
freaking having a cow back there.
Yeah, something authentic, something genuine.
Oh man, people are gonna rip me for that one. Did you hear that? What did you say? Freaking having a cow back there.
Okay, there, Mr. Wisconsinite.
Let's hear the comments on that one.
Yeah, I can't wait for Alana to hear it. She'll call you her little Midwest BB. Okay, so those are the 3 things. If you are a friend or family member of that owner listening right now and you're like, hey, I'm over this podcast, cool. You can check out, that was that little blurb for you. And now, owners, I need you to check back in. So you are asking friends and family to ignore your dog when they come in. Couple of things. If that is very hard for your dog, whether it's overexcitement, over-arousal, barking, whatever that may be, remember it is your role to make sure you set everyone up for success the best you possibly can. So if you know that, hey, you want to be on friend, family member duty and do human stuff, keep that cutie in the crate, fulfill them beforehand, good to go. If you are ahead of time letting this friend or family member know, or guest, we'll just say that, hey, we're going to use this as a training opportunity, and I am going to ask you to ignore my dog. Here's a couple of options for you, because this isn't just for dogs that have issues, okay? This is also for, or limitations, if you will. It's also for your overexcitable. So here's option 1. I so appreciate how much you want to embrace our dog, but having guests over is a challenge for her, and she does best given her space. Less pressure on her, the better. So please think no talk, no touch, no eye contact.
Probably don't read that like word for word, like off a script. Like maybe think about that ahead of time.
Yeah, like
so it sounds more natural.
How you would say it.
Yeah.
But these are me reading them.
These
I
are
wrote
ideas.
these,
Yeah.
but like these are ideas for you. Actually, no, I want you to...
Can you read it directly from your phone?
Please, no, write it down, and then read it from your notes section. Hey, hold on a second as you're walking in.
Let me get this in.
As I mentioned before, we need you to ignore our dog when you come over. We will make sure he isn't in your space, but please also make sure you respect his. He is very uncomfortable with new people, so for everyone's peace of mind, please respect our boundaries with him. And again, your guest is not training your dog. So I like to give people a heads up, like, hey, I want to work for the first 15 minutes, if you don't mind. And if they say hey, I'd rather not, okay, that's totally fine. Don't take it personal. That's one of the things too. You're saying, if you don't mind. So that's giving them an opportunity to say, well, I do mind. And that's okay too. I will have our dog on their place bed when you come in. Please do not baby talk them or try to pet them. I know they are cute, but they need their space. I want to make sure everyone feels comfortable. And then option 5, honestly, this is probably my favorite. You don't have to have your dog out. I already talked about this, but it's totally okay.
That's probably the easiest.
Yeah, especially if it's you're having game night, and if you are an adult of age that engages in, having a few cocktails or something, probably not the space for it, especially if there are limitations. And
you don't want to have your
first.
mind on that as well.
You're thinking about your dog all the time.
Yeah, you got your friends over, family, whatever it is.
Play your games.
You can put them in the kennel for a little bit.
Eat your dinner, have some snacks, all that good stuff. But yeah, so that is our little dog human thing for this podcast. Thing. Should we close her up, man?
Yeah, is there anything else?
What are we gonna do for dinner?
I don't know.
I'm so hungry.
Our kitchen is...
I want Lepanka.
Well, the guys are working in there right now. They got a bunch of stuff in
Did
there.
you hear me?
I did. We were just there not that long ago.
Guys, I don't care.
We really
We talked...
Did we say the name of this place?
Lepanka.
Lepanka, guys.
If anyone lives locally...
Penca. It is the shit.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if you don't like it...
It is the shit.
But if for some reason you don't like it,
don't tell us.
Literally don't tell us, and we don't care because we love it. We hope you love it, though, if you do go.
You'll probably love it. And we're back.
Guys, we're running on E.
On E. Our dogs have been in their kennels all day. We thought about having them out here with us. We're underneath the pergola. They're going to be on one
after this.
But, we really didn't want to have to get, mad at somebody for barking or something like that, because
we're doing a podcast, kids.
Once in a while, Rody will hear something. I can hear the tile guys up front, with their saw, and he's like, what's going on?
Mr. Suspicious. I hear a different noise. Bah!
And we're like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that during the middle of the podcast. So they're still in their kennels, but we'll get them out soon.
All right, peeves and highlights.
Yeah.
I'll go first because I can tell you don't have one.
Yeah.
Literally, you go blank. Hey, hon, just a reminder, we do these every podcast.
Uh-huh.
So my peeve is I've just been having these weird headaches, and I've been having these weird little dizzy spells.
Oh, my gosh. Tell about the one yesterday.
I honestly go into worst case scenario mode in my head. So I don't know what's been going on. I honestly think I'm dealing with some vertigo or something, but like even right now my head is pounding, and I just know that's today. It has to be from a lack of hydrating and honestly eating. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I barely ate anything today, and barely drank any water. So that's the problem for today. But yeah, I've been having these weird dizzy spells, and they're freaking me out. I'm trying not to get too freaked out, but I'm also not the like, I'm not going to just ignore it and never like. So I'm going to, make a doctor's appointment, see what could potentially be going on. But yeah, it's kind of freaks me out. But majority of the time I feel great, but I'm not used to having dizzy spells. So when I get them, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. This is very scary.
Yeah.
So that's my peeve. What's your peeve?
I got a peeve. Yeah,
Okay.
this one is very fresh.
Yeah. Oh.
I just thought about it again because I was feeling my leg.
The bees again?
Guys, it's
He can't. I can't.
so last time these whatever it is
He
it a
wrote
yellow
wasps,
jacket?
and they're not wasps.
But you also looked up that a wasp or
I
yellow
guess they
jacket
could be in the
is
family of a wasp.
Okay.
So I guess we're
So
both
there
right.
we go. Had to throw that one in there, huh? Anyways, so last Saturday I was stung on my ankle and I had a fat ankle and foot for like 3 days. Seriously, it's 3 days. And
They know this.
I know, but they don't know how long it was
Oh, okay.
like that for.
Okay.
Good 3 days.
Yep, for sure.
This like past Saturday, like just happened, stung on the other ankle or just above the ankle, and those sons of guns, man.
Sons of guns.
I keep
Those sons of guns.
I keep spraying them with wasp spray, and they keep living. And
Yes.
so now I got the
No
borat
more.
acid.
Oh no,
And
guys.
I don't want to tell you like my technique because it's not proven.
Yeah, literally, there's no technique at this point because they're still stinging. So
They're stinging, and Caitlin's been getting really, really lucky. I think the
Oh.
dog, or one of their dogs, was stung again this past weekend. So these little guys, they're challenging the hierarchy of the property, and they're messing with the king. So
oh, barf, guys! I just barfed in my mouth. Okay, my highlight of the week was the pack walk.
that was good.
It was just it.
A little rainy, but it was good. Good
yeah,
turnout.
Yeah, the pack walk weather-wise wasn't... Actually, I will take that over, like, a really hot one where I feel like I can feel the sweat dripping down from my neck to, Timbuktu. That's never
Timbuktu.
good. So, yeah, that's my highlight of the week.
My highlight is we've had a couple puppies lately
Oh
that
my gosh.
I've really, really liked. I am not typically a lover of puppy, like sometimes behavior and stuff like that. I just I don't have any problem with working with them or handling them or anything like that. But I it's not my favorite thing in the world. I'd rather work with an adult dog or walk one outside or do whatever I'm doing with the dogs.
He likes walking. He likes handling trained dogs. Which is,
and trained dogs too. Like
Yeah.
she spoils me when she trains dogs because then they're really, really nice.
and puppies are different.
We had this puppy recently that kind of pulled on my heartstrings a little
Kind
bit.
of.
And she's sassy and naughty, just like a puppy is. And God, her little character though she's
He
so
wants
cute.
her.
I don't want to say that I would abduct her, but if
Oh my God,
if she
that
was
word.
ever available
Gosh.
to
Can you
want to
just use the
live
word
with us.
steal, not abduct? Like, come on.
Sorry, that's a bad
So
word.
weird.
But no,
Just like you saying, I love little girls. Like,
I've never said that.
you said that about, you were talking about little girl dogs, but
That's because I realized like some of my favorite dogs that we've had are girl dogs, and
yeah,
they're my favorites.
honestly, they are. Like, I can list off all
Not
of
little girls, guys. Little girl dogs.
but
Girl dogs.
the thought, ew, little girl. The back.
That's so weird.
It sounds so weird. Like, no one at him for this.
Yeah.
He's going to get canceled for this.
Yeah, watch me get canceled.
But it's because sometimes Casey's words come out before his brain has caught up with his thoughts. A lot this happens. So the other day, sitting on the couch, or no, we're driving and we're talking about it, and then like a little bit later, he goes, "Yeah, I just love the little girls." And I'm like,
God,
Casey,
Katie.
you did. And then you were like, and I was like, what? And like the puppies, the girl dogs. Like, he totally knew what he meant to say, but
because
it
we were
came out
talking
really weird.
about them.
It's just like
before.
abduct just came out and you didn't think about it before you said it.
Yeah, but you didn't give the context before, as to why. Anyways, I don't want to come off creepy, guys. I'm not. Weird. I don't think I'm genuinely a creepy person.
No, not at all.
But anyways, I wouldn't be with you some of my favorite dogs we trained have been girl dogs, and we just had this one that went home. That, like I said, I'm not usually a puppy person.
Mm-hmm. Just like that age of puppy takes a lot of patience.
And she was like not the easiest puppy we've had either, which is like surprising to me that I like really enjoyed her.
I think it was because she was very intentional about her choices.
Oh, damn it, she was so cute. Like
so
her
cute.
Eyes, like 2 different colored eyes. Like
you guys will know if you watch her stories who it is. But
anyway, so we really, really enjoyed, and oh my god. I need to eat food. Really enjoyed having them. We really, all of her housemates were here too, and they're good dogs. They have really good owners.
Oh my gosh, guys! I feel like we're all over the place today. I'm so sorry. Did I ever say? No,
I'm not sorry. This is how it goes. This is
our brains.
Yeah, this is our brains at almost 6:00 with not enough food today.
Okay, let's go eat.
Did we do a Peeve and highlight thing?
Oh my
yeah,
God,
we did it all, right?
We just did that. We just finished it.
It's time to go to bed.
Literally, yeah. Let's do last outs. Let's go to bed.
Time to go to bed.
And then our house also smells like paint, so we cannot go hang out in there.
No, we're gonna open the windows. It's cool enough we can open the windows and air it out.
We love you guys. If you love our chaotic, casual vibe, leave us a 5-star review. Share it with your friends.
Yeah. If you want to contribute to our podcast, remember there's a contribution page on our website. Go check it out. It's under the podcast page. Let us know what you want to know.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. What questions,
what topics, if you're struggling with something with your dog and you'd love to hear a little Kate's take on it, DM us or slide into Casey's emails.
Yeah, it can be, business related. It can be dog training related. It can be us related. It could be whatever.
We'll do our best to bring you something worthy to listen to.
Yeah, we try that. We try it every week. Gosh. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes
we're gonna go get some Mexican food.
Effective. We are. We just had it.
This is me convincing him. That was like 3 days ago.
Oh boy.
Okay, and we will.
All right, guys, we're back.
Talk to you next Tuesday.
Please join us again. Don't get rid of this one because we'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.
My God, we're annoying.
That was a good one.
We're funny. Also lame.